Here we go your way.
Up to the skies, straight up.
Hey! Good job, boss.
So what happened there? No one used flesh on either side. How is that even possible?
Should we try to work out how it happened? Oh, okay, there's another charm. Now it's on to Froggy. He's on the run. He's going to have to flash over the wall. I'm going to guess.
I figured it out. I figured it out.
Okay, go.
Saigon Buffalo realized that they were actually close to winning 2-0. That can't be possible. So they have to gift some kills over level. What is going on?
I'm choking a little bit like Saigon Buffalo are choking this early game. What did I just witness?
I have no idea.
That was so much disrespect from Froggy. We were praising Saigon Buffalo for being so good in game 1. And then they do this. I'm guessing charm into Spectral Maw.
Nope.
Okay, it was just a charm.
Just a charm.
That's all that was needed.
He had a ward there, so he tried to W out of there, potentially. But okay, that's in the past now. It's a 2-0 advantage for Cerberus. That's very nice. But Shogun, level 1, Zeri, we saw her trait last game. Level 1 seems to be a strong suit in lane. And then afterwards, she's useless for the rest of the game, in the laning phase at least. We have a kill on Artemis, so he actually started a little bit behind in this laning phase because he had to use all his potions. He might actually be on the back foot for the until he recalls. So the kill might actually not really help him in the early game.
I want to correct you on one thing, because it was in the last game as Artemis is forced to rocket jump out to safety. But in the last game when Shogun and Artemis did their trade, I think it was Shogun who came out on top because he had the scythe. So he healed up, and it was Artemis who was very low.
I mean, it was not because of the scythe. As an Aphelios player, no. I can tell you, level 1 scythe does not heal you. It pretends to heal you, but it does not heal you. It's like 2 the health per auto attack. So,
oh
Froggy.
No, Froggy! Oh, okay. Saigon Buffalo want to take us to game 3. Let's get the narratives prepped.
What is happening? Turn on the monitors again. I understand you feel great after a 25-minute victory, but guys, please.
You know what we were talking about before about Froggy, like, not getting any CS throughout all of Winter Split so he could save it for Worlds Finals? Well, he's used up all of his good plays in game 1 of this series, so he needs his int game, get it out of the system, then he can pop off in game 3.
Shocking plays, honestly. We don't even have any time to talk about the compositions, because at this point, does it even make sense to talk about? Okay, there we go.
This is what Carrick said. You gotta go in on the Zeri, and that's exactly what Artemis does, and he picks up the kill.
And this is something I really love every time we actually see new champions I mean, she wasn't untouched. She was nerfed slightly, but kind of untouched in a strong state, because with the meta evolving across the globe, we see counterpicks emerge. Now, this happens less when the champion is strong in lane as well, but especially if it's a super strong late game champion that basically outscales everything because it's just overpowered in the late game. In pro play, oftentimes we see people actually coming up with counter strategies to the early game. I just think back to Sonateric and how it evolved into MSI 15 minutes victory by IG, even though the strategy statistically was still OP, right? Where you just pick Draven and whatever the support was, or the Varus Blitzcrank, and suddenly you just dominate the early game. So I always love when this is actually given time to develop naturally. And now the Zeri first pick just looks like a trap. If you can just kill it all the time with some counter pick or the other. So 4-0 for Cerberus after just 4 minutes.
I think they want more
as
well. Rono B coming. The focus is surely going to be on Taki. The explosive charge procced, blown up, and Artemis can look to go in again.
Nope.
He tries the Abyssal dive out, but is unsuccessful. Now there's going to be another rocket jump available. I was wondering if they wanted to go on to Shogun, but instead they decide to play it safe. 5-0. Can we get some thoughts? Do we think this is going to be a perfect game?
Oh, I mean, if any VCS team can perfect game, it's probably Cerberus, but considering Artemis is on Tristana, and after having a horrible performance on Zeri, I think he's gonna overextend it to some second or third tower at some point in this game. So, I don't think so. It's possible. It's the one team I would trust with a perfect game, if someone actually said, please play a perfect game for me.
Do you remember in Winter Split there was one series where we had 2 pentakills?
Yes, it was actually the very first one, I believe.
Was it the first one?
There was one split where the very first series had back-to-back pentakill games. It was Slater against... Oh, it was actually in spring, I believe. Slater against Celebrity or something. But yeah, we had a lot of pentakills, for sure.
Because I know there was one in winter where I think we had 3 pentakills in one weekend, 2 from the same player and then 1 in another game of one series. I'm just wondering if this series is going to be our pentakill series. Artemis bouncing
I'm here
back.
for it.
I'm here for it as well. Artemis saying, how dare you, Shogun? You think not only you can beat me on my first time on Zeri, but then you think you can disrespect me by daring to pick Zeri to try to show me how it's done? Insolence.
Hey, he is behind in CS 2 games in a row, so Shogun technically winning lane, if you ignore the kill score.
Yeah. That's fair. Do we count the 2 kills as CS?
2 kills and 2 assists, so basically +4, yeah? I think that's
yeah,
a fair assessment.
so he's ahead.
That's true.
It's all good. All good. No, it is close. Looking towards the top side, also relatively close, but then again, Poss is playing Gangplank. He's going to be getting bigger, and now he's got that Sheen, which is the point where he really starts to do some damage.
It's funny, because both of these champions print money, right? On with levels, just bestowing his 1,000 gold worth of stat sticks. But on the other side, we have Gangplank printing money with every CS, or almost every last hit. So yeah, both of these top laners a little bit inflated in how much gold they have compared to the normal average top laners. But it takes much longer. Oh, okay, we have another all-in, and Artemis?
We do have another engage. Taki down to half health. Ron OP taking a bit of damage, but not too much, as in the mid lane there was a trade. And as you can see, Yado definitely coming out of that one on top.
So, unfortunately, Carrix is not here to tell me about weird interaction with Salis, but maybe you know as well. How does Salis interact with the new Ahri ult? Does he actually get the shutdown, the additional stacks? Or does he not?
What do you mean?
Like, the new Ahri gets additional ult stacks when she gets a takedown, right? Does Salis steal that part as well? Yes?
Carrix is giving a thumbs up with some vigorous nodding, so
okay.
I'm going to take that to mean no.
Of course. I mean, it's upside down, it's Australia. Makes sense.
Yeah. Also, I just saw on Carrix's camera, he's got a really nice burger. Now I'm really hungry.
Cast the game, Milky.
Oh, Saigon Buffalo, they're hungry as well. They want to get themselves a nice Rift Herald burger. They get that. BJ picks up the purple eye, and we'll see where he wants to drop that one.
Well, it's all going Cerberus' way, but the Rift Herald. So maybe not a perfect game, because the Rift Herald opens up the possibility of a first tower. It's a little bit curious that Cerberus didn't invest anything to prevent this Rift Herald from happening. Didn't even... I mean, they got the dragon, I guess, a little bit earlier, but still... Giving up the Rift Herald for free is maybe not necessary. Then again, it's probably not going to lead to anything, because you have push and full control of all the lanes. So Rift Herald against on the team with losing lanes is always hard to execute. Most of the time you just get 2 platings and that's it. So most likely Cerberus just saying, yeah, whatever, we don't need to risk another flip at the Rift Herald. It didn't really go our way the last game, as Clockwork pointed out on the analyst desk as well. So playing it more safely, and this is the Cerberus we know, and I'm not sure if love is the right word, because they kill our combined kills per minute average, but...
Cerberus we don't accept. They're here, they're participating. And we like to see some of their games, especially when Artemis pops off. And don't forget, it's still a perfect game, even if the enemy team gets a Rift Herald, as long as they don't convert it into a tower.
How do you, where do you land on the plating debate? On the perfect game plating debate thingy? Nah, I mean, it needs to show up on the actual stat page, right?
My issue with the people who say, oh, you got a plating, that's bad, is essentially just saying, well, you're saying that they got gold and that's bad, so it's not a perfect game unless you stop the enemy team from getting a single minion.
Okay, I guess, yeah. I guess if you push it, you can say that. What did Poss just do? He does not want the perfect game, because he misplayed that horribly, using all of his spells in the wrong order, in the wrong position, to fall to Hasmed and BJ. So, well, perfect games out of the window. We can focus on what's actually going on. And Saigon Buffalo is not done with this game yet, it seems, as Cerberus is rolling up the support.
Yeah, BJ not going to drop down the Rift Herald. Imagine giving your goal to an Ornn, even if it is a Harsmed. So Froggy looking for the play. This time he doesn't get hit by the charm. Yado not being very successful with the charms. A lot of times those charms have just been hitting minions as Ron OP walks by. Taki here as well. Going to jump in with the Abyssal Dive. They look for Yado. Two-man knock-up. Froggy super low, and Froggy has been devoured. That is going to buy enough time to allow the Silas to get out. Good kick onto Ron OP, but Yado going back in with a Spirit
What are we doing?
So much damage, but still no one's dead. Heartbreaker in. Taki goes over the wall, but Taki will die. Ron OP insanely low, and it's Harsmed who will pick up the kill. 2 kills for 1. Cerberus coming out on top.
It's full Fiesta mode. Cerberus has accepted the VCS, and they're molded by the VCS in this game at least. But what is happening? Cerberus with the super close fight. There's some nice mechanical plays. Froggy actually able to weave in and out of the fight with the help of the Alistar ultimate, but then he forgot about the Alistar ulti on the Alistar. Try to focus on the Alistar, but the Alistar has an Alistar ult as well, so he is very tanky himself. Unfortunately, that's another fight going over to Cerberus, as Artemis is also mining away at this tower. Look at his damage! Yeah, I mean, that's a Kraken Slayer at 12 minutes. Taki does not want to shower in these hits, as he has been doing the last few seconds. And Artemis?
Oh. He drops down the thumbs up emote, or the penguin emote, as
look at this pushing power.
They can't do anything. This is just really unfortunate for Taki and Shogun. Now Artemis has got all the plates. He doesn't need to get anything more, as the Rift Herald dropped into the mid lane. That's going to be gold for Froggy and BJ.
Yeah, these towers are not designed to hold up against the Tristana with Kraken Slayer 10 minutes. That's not supposed to happen. So she's gonna get the tower on the next push. It's just 1 E needed. Look at the deep wards coming in from Taki. How did he drop this many pink wards into the enemy jungle? I guess very good coordination with Yado and Fuguan. So Ronopi, Fuguan and Yado really exerting their dominance. Everything is their territory now. And you can already see Saigon Buffalo is just going back to the top lane, because that's where they feel safe. That's where the weakest link plays from Cerberus' side. So just go top lane constantly.
The thing is, Yolway, if this wasn't an Ornn for Harsmed and, I mean, any actual champion in the top lane, I'd actually say Saigon Buffalo are not in too bad of a situation, because they've got themselves a nice little lead. But sadly for them, that gold advantage is on an Ornn lane, which isn't going to do too much for them.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything for them. Harsmed had a very good game on Ornn, actually, apart from the solo kill that was almost turned around. So the Ornn is still a little puzzling in the grand scheme of things when it comes to Saigon Buffalo's draft, especially when you consider what they drafted last week. The Vayne, now it's Ornn, I guess. Yeah. You go from Vayne to Ornn. I'm not sure if there's any starker difference in champions picked, but I guess you can play both of these. And it has been a little bit of a stable for some of our very good top laners. We remember Yoshino, one of the best Ornn players in the league, and won some titles on the Ornn, even though he had some in-performances as well. So I guess we just love the Ornn here in the VCS, which is a little bit surprising, because it's really not the league where you expect the Ornn to be successful, because he needs some time to get to level 13, level 14 to really make his presence felt.
Well, Harsmed is level 11, getting closer to that level 13 point. And as you said, we saw the Vayne last week. We've seen the Ornn this week. Maybe next week we're going to be able to see, I don't know, maybe Janus might come
mage. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one as well, yeah. I mean, maybe it's time for Harsmed Akali in the next game, as it definitely looks like we are going to have a next game. Everything is going Cerberus' way in game 2. 2 dragons under the belt. The second Rift Herald is going to go into their pockets as well. And Saigon Buffalo needs to win some series against the better teams, but Shogun is here.
Well, Artemis just goes in. Taki forced to use the Abyssal Dive out. Shogun able to kite backwards. Drops down the Ultra Shock
Oh.
laser. Oh, good Kingslayer onto Artemis, who will be able to get out. Now he's just dishing out the damage. Looking towards a Froggy, the explosive charge gobbled up by Taki
Nicely
and
done.
kept alive. But the focus is turned over towards BJ. They get the kill. Shogun has already fallen. Not quite sure when that happened, as Froggy forced to go in on Fook1 to try to keep himself alive. But it doesn't matter. Fook1 picks up the kill. Now looks towards the Toad. Gets another 4 kills, and it's only Yada who falls for Cerberus. As Harsmed just left to defend in the mid lane, as the Rift Herald will be secured by Cerberus as well.
And I'm sorry, but I heard a rumor that Tom Kench is supposed to be tanky.
Nah.
No, definitely not in this game. He goes down so quickly. Someone stepped on this poor Toad in this teamfight once again. Froggy able to use the ultimate, but they invest another ultimate to save him from the Tom Kench. So the shield of Tom Kench is entirely unused. Froggy just buying time, but really not accomplishing much. And look how quickly Taki dies here. Wow.
I think it was a combination of Poss getting a crit parlay off, along with some ability from something else's. Artemis just runs down Shogun. Fair enough.
Yeah, and I feel like after this series, Zeri is just not allowed anymore in the VCS, at least as a first pick. I think Tim talked about this as well. He doesn't want to see it as a first pick anymore. Maybe if you can see the enemy team picking an ADC, and especially support matchup where you are rather safe, not really winning the lane, but at least able to scale, maybe then Zeri can come in and provide the late game terror she is able to provide when she is in 2 and 3 items. But maybe not as a first pick, now that we have seen Aphelios and Tristana punch them on the red side 2 games in a row.
Poss being engaged on by Harsmed buys enough time for Froggy to teleport in. Misses the Everfrost. BJ showing up just in case they need some additional help. And he'll steal the kill as well with the Sonic Wave. Perfect 2020 hearing from BJ.
Why did he steal the kill? Also, you shouldn't stay under this tower. I guess with the stolen ultimate it's safe enough, as they use the Gangplank ultimate to disengage here. Meanwhile, there's a teleport. Saigon Buffalo is not done. They want to continue fighting in this game. Artemis is low.
Over the wall, good buster shot, but it doesn't matter. Artemis still in a tricky spot, and it's Harsmed who gets the shutdown onto Artemis. Oh, the Forge God wants some extra gold. Fook1 able to Heartbreaker over the tower and out to safety, but it is Saigon Buffalo who get 2 kills for nothing.
Well, that's a positive play from their side. They want to show at least the signs of life and get ready for the next game. I always like to say in these games, yes, you're playing to win the game and the series here, but you're also trying to make positive plays and maybe instill a little bit of doubt in the minds of the enemies, because especially in best of threes, whoever wins the second game is always at a mental advantage, especially if the first game was a stomp and you stomp back in game 2, then game 3 is in the favor of stomp number 2. So it's good to see Saigon Buffalo showing a little bit of resilience here. And there's still a Zeri on their team. There's still on items in the near future coming in. Froggy. Look at the ultimates available to him. If they can somehow survive the next 10-15 minutes and get to a more even state in the late game, they can certainly win this game in teamfights.
It's not a huge goal discrepancy as Ron OP just goes way too far forward, but can Cerberus turn this one back around? Silas has hijacked away the Unbreakable Will as they go in looking for Fook1. Lightning Crash drop down and Shogun gets the shutdown. He's got the equivalent of the Jinx Excitement. However, Taki can't really step forward because there is a cannon barrage. BJ able to sidestep out on the charm. Harsmed searing charge in. Does he want more? Volcanic Rupture drop down. Yado on the run. Froggy, does he want to go over the wall? And the answer is no. Saigon Buffalo, again, 2 kills for nothing. And this time they're able to get a Drake. They're able to get the bounty as well.
And the one thing you can't afford to do if you are the slow, consistent teamfighting team is lose teamfights, especially when you're ahead. Cerberus, the best teamfighting team in Winter, the team that was able to consistently out-teamfight GAM of all teams, is falling in teamfights from 6k gold leads. They need to be careful. The game is now in a precarious situation where look at how strong Froggy can get and how much time he can buy with the Alistair ultimate. It's not even triggered at this point. He triggers it now. A beautiful, beautiful re-engage from Taki, throwing his life at the opponents with the knockup. Yeah, and then it's just 2 kills for free. They did give up some huge kills in the top lane, I believe.
Taki died.
Died.
He walked up to a bush. We kind of saw the start of it as we went into replay.
Nice.
BJ He rides the Alistair train out to safety, and he looks very smart in the process.
Yeah, BJ's mechanics on Lee Sin have always been crispy clean, and he once again shows up here. Another good Lee Sin in the VCS, of course. It's the base requirement. If you try and become a VCS jungler, you need to be exceptional at Lee Sin. Every single jungler can play Lee Sin here. And BJ, usually more known for his quick moving boys like Udyr and Hecarim, he's still also very slick and quick dude on the Lee Sin. So it's always good to see these small little mechanical nuggets.
I know we've got a more Thai Lee Sin skin, but that doesn't quite apply to Vietnam, I don't think. So we need a Vietnamese themed Lee Sin skin now.
Well, I'd be happy with the Gum World skin. So that can be Vietnamese for the theme. So I don't ask for much, right? It's all I ask for.
It's going to be the thing where Levi wins Worlds and then he doesn't pick Lee Sin. I don't know why. No, he picks Zac.
No, he has to pick Shyvana. It's his number one champion.
Do you remember his Z trademark champion from Winter?
Let's not talk about Levi too much. He's going to be in contention, and he's going to play against these two teams in the near future. I think these are definitely the two teams that are going to pose the biggest challenge for the undefeated run of GAM. As we go black for a second, back to the Milky Way, staring at a black screen. No, here we are again. I hope you can see the game. Can you confirm that for me?
That threw me off, because I like to sometimes just sit on my knees. So my face is just completely out of the shot.
No, I didn't actually pan over to us. So, you're good, you're good.
So now I just told everyone my secrets of how I like to cast. For no reason. That would have been a good joke at some point. However, Yado looking to go in. Does he throw out the charm? Two-man knockup. BJ already down to half a health. Hazmed engaged on charm down, and Hazmed will fall. Fuquan picks up the kill as Cerberus start the fight off with a kill of their own. Nothing more will come of it as Cerberus turn their attention towards the Baron.
And in theory, a good engagement from Saigon Buffalo. They just forgot that they're still quite far behind, and Hazmed isn't tanky enough to stay in the fight long enough for Froggy to pick his moment. He needed to go in. Well, speaking of not tanky enough, Taki's still not very tanky. And now 5v3 at the Baron spot. Probably just the Baron for Saigon Buffalo. Froggy, for some reason, triggered the Alistair ultimate. He wanted to get rid of this one, so already conceded the Baron at that point. That's another objective bounty, so at least quick thinking to get a little bit of gold under the belt. But it's the huge Velvet Suit buff for Cerberus, which should give them at least one inhibitor. The goal with this Baron buff is certainly to break the inhibitor line. If you fail to do that, then Saigon Buffalo is really looking at this game as still a winnable, serious game to play.
Well, 6k goal lead for Cerberus is not the worst goal deficit we've seen. We've seen bigger goal deficits overturned, even here in the VCS, I would imagine. But Artemis is looking pretty strong. 3 items right now on the Tristana, whereas Shogun only with 2 items. Shogun having picked up a pentakill in the previous game. What can he do on this Zeri? If he can get a kill, maybe he can snowball a fight, as here is how the previous fight in the mid lane panned out.
Yeah, and we just see that Hazmed is just not strong enough to do this. If he has one more tank item, if Froggy is there a little bit quicker, they might be able to turn the fight around from this position. As, speaking of Hazmed not being tanky enough, Exhibit B.
Exhibit B. Artemis very low, but will stay alive. Yado able to spirit rush over the wall and out to safety, but in goes BJ, but he's instantly turned on by Ron OP. He goes golden to buy some time. Now the teleports are coming in. Ultra Shock Laser does a little bit of work, but not quite enough. Post teleporting in. Shogun trying his best to kite back, but he doesn't quite have the damage. Has to be really careful of those barrels, because the powder kegs do a phenomenal work. Froggy and BJ looking for the flank, but they've got no health to their name right now. But that being said, Saigon Buffalo are able to force Cerberus away.
Any minute now, Shogun is going to start to deal damage. Now, just 1 or 2 auto attacks away. Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
turn.
flash headbutt pulverize. Instant devour from Taki. Froggy goes in, but Froggy will fall. Abyssal dive now looking towards Yado. He did land a chump, but can he do more? Goes over the wall. Yado will fall. Shogun gets the kill. Call of the Forge God will be able to find a 3-man knockup, but not anything more. Hazmed falls. BJ still on the flank. Rocket jump forward. Artemis looking for Shogun. The explosive charge will pop, and the kill will go go over onto Fuka 1. Cerberus win the fight, and now Cerberus turn their attention towards the base of Saigon Buffalo.
And another 25-minute victory. These two teams, they are top teams. They know how to end games. We talked about this last game, but they do not kid around, even though some of the fights might be a little dicey, a little too over-aggressive. But in the end, it's still a 25-minute victory for Cerberus to close us out and go to 1-1-1. We are in the match of the week, and we are getting our money's